Hello and welcome to another episode of Sports and Songs Podcast. This is season 6, episode number 39, our Songs Edition, Andy.
Here we go.
Songs Edition. We do album reviews here. We're going to cover a band called Audioslave. So this is a super group, Andy, right? Super group. You get guys from Rage Against the Machine. You get the Soundgarden frontman. And you get a band called Audioslave that's been on 2 albums before. This is their 3rd album.
Yeah, which is usually a super group would do 1 or 2. They did 3, so I don't know if they still considered a super group or just another group they're in. I'm not sure.
Boy, that's a good question. They did say on the album cover here, they said this is the promotion. I was just reading this. They audio at the album cover art is audio. It's dubbed the Audioslave Nation. Audioslave Nation It was featured on Google Earth for a time. The fictional nation there on the album art. It's their little flame. It's their Audioslave flame logo is what it looks for. So here it is. It's a 3rd and final studio album by American super rock group Audioslave, released September 2006. Now, Chris Cornell and Tom Morello and these guys joined forces, did 3 albums, and they said, this is it. The album, I think it's got a double play on words here with Revelations. It's dealing with some songs that are dealing with end times, end of the world kind of topics. It's also Revelations as far as Chris Cornell being, he wasn't drinking, drugs, smoking, nothing during these last 2 albums. So as sober as can be. And he started kind of waking up to some of these things, and being stone cold sober has allowed him to take a different take on some of these lyrics, different songs. Morello still sounds the same. The guitar work still sounds like Rage. I wasn't a fan of Rage. I'm not a fan of his guitar work. Yes, it's good. Yes, I respect it. I'm not personally a fan of it, though. It's good. But that's kind of what it sounds like. You got to listen to it for Cornell's voice. It's just unbelievable with these guys, how precise these guys are in the recording studio. So they had a lot of these songs written. They brought 20 songs into the recording studio, and they ended up with the ones they used, but they said, let's record these and call it good. They said the sound, Morello says the sound kind of is a cross between Led Zeppelin meets Earth, Wind, and Fire. It's kind of funk.
Okay, I'll give you that.
There's some funk in here, he says. Prior to the release of the album, the songs Wide Awake and The Shape of Things to Come were prominently featured in Michael Mann's 2006 film Miami Vice. And the title track, Revelations, appeared on the video game Madden NFL 2007. Now, I didn't know that. He was on the song Madden 07 was this. So here's the tracks. I'll go through some of what goes on behind the scenes here, but the song Revelations title track, song 1. Song 2 is One and the Same. Song 3, Sound of a Gun. Song 4, Until We Fall. Song 5, Original Fire. Good lyrics there, Andy. He talks about getting the band going in 85 and 86. And this was Soundgarden when they were early on kind of punk, when everyone in the Pacific Northwest was punk for grunge. And they were all kind of wild rock and roll, Wild West punk guys. And that's Original Fire. I think he's referring to the fire in their belly that they had as original coming out as rock stars. Next song is Broken City. Next song is Some Days. Next song is Shape of Things to Come. Song 9 is Jewel of the Summertime. Song 10 is Wide Awake. Wide Awake. Now, Wide Awake was written after the Hurricane Katrina damage. And not only with the damage, but the song is written for the lyrics of the poor response by FEMA and the president and the agencies all covering and helping out those folks in New Orleans. So it's a shot on them. So now we're seeing Cornell take on some public issues, kind of like Morello always has, whereas, Cornell didn't do those things before. I have nothing against the song, but he's getting into some more political stuff and going after folks. So saying he could have been, he missed a bunch of stuff if he wasn't asleep, and he should have been wide awake to see this stuff that was going on over right in front of everyone's very eyes, the way it took place. Nothing left to say but goodbye. Nothing left to say but goodbye. The final song is Moth. They didn't plan to record that even, but they stayed one more night in the studio. They had one more extra day, and they said, let's do one more song and close it out. They called it Moth. Very bland, but it's about how a moth is attracted to heat, usually goes toward the fire, usually gets burned up. It's kind of how it's the typical, the human nature of things. We're all like moths.
Like a moth to the flame.
Yes. So a special edition of this album was released that included a DVD with a 16-minute film directed by Danny Clinch. The film featured interviews with the band members and some performance footage. Now, I've never seen that part of it. I'm going to go back and look for that and watch that, because I've got all the Audioslave stuff. Big fan of Chris Cornell, big fan of these songs, on how tight and crisp these songs are. But once again, you mentioned, hey, what's your favorite albums? I would never think of Audioslave being up there with your favorite music, but this stuff is good. Original Fire, that's the song. Morello said it was more of a funk. It's got a 70s song to it. The music set to the lyrics of the mid 80s with these guys and the bands in the mid 80s. So anyway, it's the album's Revelations. It's I think they knew it was their last album. They talk about end times of the world and things going on, and kind of bringing closure to it all, and also using the second type of the word as things were coming to him. I think Cornell was waking up to certain things that were going on, and he had certain revelations, and later got into some things with exposing different crimes and things like that. So he was doing well, but a whole life of wild alcohol, drugs, and then you go clean, you put together the stuff, and it does very well. It's good stuff. Here's the personnel: Chris Cornell, vocals; Brad Wilk, drums; Tom Morello, guitars; and Tim Comerford, bass. So, did you like the sound of Audioslave? I know you're not a fan of Audioslave, but
if it was on, I listened to it. I never went out and bought it, though.
Yeah, they were the super group, but they got a lot of airplay back in the day. 93.7, 93.7, 93X played a lot of the stuff here in the Twin Cities. They were big fans of Audioslave, I believe, but good stuff. I like the connection between Led Zeppelin meets Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah, that's kind of a good way of putting it. Yeah.
That's all I've got there for Audioslave. Good stuff. Pick it up if you can. Remember to listen to or watch that documentary, the 15 or 16 minute with some interviews and whatnot there. I'm going to go ahead and give that a listen, I think.
Yeah, that was on the re-release, you said?
That was on the re-release.
Like the 20th anniversary.
Special edition.
There we go.
They also have there's a Japanese bonus tracks that they perform some songs live at the Court Festival. The songs Set It Off, Doesn't Remind Me, Gasoline, and Out of Exile. And some good stuff. But anyway, it's another one of those albums you got to listen to and understand it all and put it all together before it all makes sense. But the music itself is good stuff. Well, see you next week, everybody.
See ya.
See ya.